In the annual Forbes magazine 30 Under 30 issue is on the newsstands right now. This issue is dedicated to recognizing young innovators, leaders, and entrepreneurs from all over the world. And get this, Cincinnati native Paul Powers made the list. He is the 29-year-old CEO of a company called Physna that's based right here in the tri-state, and Paul is here with us in the studio right now this morning. Paul, first of all, congratulations on making this entry on this, what I think is a prestigious list.
Thank you.
I mean, they were looking all over the country to find people, and you made the list. What'd you think when you first heard the news that you were going to be included?
I was very excited, obviously. Yeah, it was you know, a great honor. I was excited to see it. I don't know what else to say.
Let's talk, in order for them to recognize you, then you must have come up with some innovation with your company, Physna, that really intrigued them. Let's talk a little bit about what Physna is and what it does.
Sure. So basically what Physna does is something that should have happened a long time ago. You know, if you've seen Back to the Future.
Yes.
Well, there's no hoverboard, right? And there's a reason for that. Innovation's been so much faster in information, you know, because programmers code for programmers, and it's great for text, it's great for images. When it gets to 3D models, we're way behind.
Okay.
So, you know, things like autofill, regular search, you know, being able to compare different things. We're not used to having that in 3D. We don't have it in 3D in, you know, in general in the industry. So what Physna did was we just helped computers think in 3D. So we save engineers an average of, or companies an average of about $40,000 a year per engineer if they use Physna.
Well, that's impressive. That's reason enough in and of itself to be on this list of 30 under 30. You've had an interesting kind of route to get there too. You're from the West Side,
correct?
Homeschooled. Go to Harvard. Then you go to Heidelberg, Germany, to go to law school. Tell me how this comes about.
So, I think what's really important if you want to be successful in life is that you don't look at the routes available for you. You look at where your goal is.
Oh, okay.
And start with what you want to achieve, and then think of a unique way to get there. And there's nothing wrong with going to a prestigious school anywhere in the world. Here in
sure.
You know, going to UC, everything, all that's great. For me, I decided that I wanted to take a unique route, and I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to do it in tech, and I decided that getting that degree made sense. And it doesn't make a lot of sense on the surface, but if you think about it, you know, step by step, you can, at least to me, I found a way.
Yeah, you kind of protect your intellectual investment by being an attorney, because you recognize what you have to do in order to protect it, that sort of thing. But you have to explain to me how you go from Heidelberg back here to Cincinnati to start your company. You could have started this anywhere.
Correct. So, first of all, I wanted to leave Europe not because I didn't like Europe. I loved living in Germany. I mean, it's awesome. I love beer, so why wouldn't I like Germany? Yeah. So, I mean, it was a great place to be. But, you know, I mean, you have to be somewhere where you're being challenged. And I felt that, you know, there's no risk, there's no reward. And after I passed the bar, it sounds kind of stupid, but I was already working at a law firm. There was no risk involved. There was no reward.
Sure.
So, you know, I thought, I really wanted to go on to the next thing. And I knew that I had this idea from law school, because initially I realized this 3D comparison technology would be great for intellectual property protection.
Sure.
And so I moved back to the US, and I chose Cincinnati not because I was born here, but because I realized that we're going to be working with a lot of engineering and manufacturing companies and aerospace and automotive. Yeah. You know, these are companies that are based largely in the center of the country, you know, not out in Silicon Valley, not out in New York. So I didn't want to be out where the investors were. I wanted to be where the action was. Okay. So that's why we chose to be here.
All right, we only got a short amount of time left. I have to know what you've accomplished so much, and you're still 29 years old. What did you see for yourself? Where do you see all of this leading to?
That's a great question. My life goal is, and I'll just say it here publicly, you know, I want to be a multi-billionaire. I want to fulfill all my potential. I feel like it's a moral obligation for every person to do everything that they're capable of doing.
Sure.
I don't know where that'll lead. Maybe I'll fall short, but I'll never be satisfied. So I'm going to continue down this road as far as I possibly can, and I'll stop when I die, you know.
Well, call me kind of silly, but I think that maybe he can do it, you know. But anyway, congratulations to you, Paul. Good luck with your company, and congratulations on the honor with Forbes magazine.